Okay, again, the microphone is playing up. Well done, OBS. Love it. What was I saying there? Well, all I was saying was basically the following. We've got two games today. Feast against ID, followed by whoever loses that battle, they will go out against HLV. We're going out straight away with Feast. They're going out on New Bay, so let's have a look at New Bay. This is New Bay, one of the recent additions to the tournament scene. So what are we expecting to see here? Well, it depends. Some clans like to send their tanks all the way up to these ridges, these ramps, sorry. Get onto these ramps, well, the thing is, anything coming up the ramp you can smack, anything crossing over there you can smack, and you can get some really dominant positions around here. At the same time, they like to send their super heavies, like the Mouse or an E100, down to these type positions. That way, if anything comes around to try and get up the ramps from the flank, they've got it covered. Alternatively, they can push through this area and put some pressure onto the park. It's not uncommon to try and get a fast cap here on the B cap, and in the alternative on the C cap. It all depends. I mean, some clans, even from the other spawn, can go through. They can fast cap their respective caps, C and B, and then continue pushing through onto the other cap. If there are tanks on the ridge, on the ramps, however, it becomes a danger here with the crossfire. That's why they like to go onto those ridges. But you will get the cap advantage, but the cap advantage doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the game. The brawl areas, well, it depends. Sometimes you get a brawl around here, sometimes you get a brawl around this cross section here with the heavies, and sometimes you get a brawl around the park and the B and C caps. It all depends on what cap they're going to utilise. New Bay has always been a tricky map, but it's always been an interesting one insofar as strats and meta selection. So I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a great game as always. So that's New Bay. Let's go and have a look at Mayan, which is the next map. We've already seen... where is Mayan? I can't find it. Mayan, where are you? I seriously... Oh, there it is. This is Mayan Ruins, and what are we going to see here? Well, we don't really know. We can only give you an overview. Teams generally like to send Vickers or a medium out towards this C cap, trying to put pressure on. Works the same from both sides. It's very rare to see a full-on C strat with the whole team, but it's not uncommon. Recently, I've been seeing teams sending E5s and Kranwagons to around this area, whilst having an IS-4 drop into the B cap and try and put multiple pressure on there. It is not uncommon to see super heavies like a Mouse and E100, and if so, from this spawn they like to send them around this area, possibly even pushing as hard up as this, depending on how aggressive they want to be. Some teams like to take AMX-50Bs from that spawn, and if so, they stick them into the A cap with the intention of bringing them around and joining up with those super heavies to put pressure on. Reason being, well, the other side normally from the other spawn will have a super heavy of some description, and they will stick them around here also. That way they get to put pressure on both the B cap if they do send an IS-4 in, and anything coming down that lane. Again, they can also send AMXs up into the A cap, but it is risky. There's a lot more ground to cover, and it's a lot more open than on the other side. Again, you can send an IS-4, drop into that B cap and try and get those early caps, but it is risky because you can be reset from that bush there, which is not uncommon. Once they have done it, they normally rotate to about that position there. Nine times out of 10, the brawl area around this map is between the A cap and the B cap, but you just never know what strat they're going to do. Either way, it's a great little map. It lends itself for some good heavy tank play, but it also has some great opportunities for those mobile teams with their Vickers, T22s and the such. Either way, we're set to have a great game here. You're a demanding lot. Firstly, I said earlier that the sound mucks up for the first few minutes. Guys, there's a delay. So there's a long delay. So you have to be mindful of that. So I did say the sound mucks up for the first few moments, but it then gets sorted. So nobody can hear me, but wait for the delay to catch up, please. If you don't, then, I mean, this is the problem. Because there is a big delay, what you guys see in real time is actually in the past, realistically. And it's pretty difficult for me to interact with you because I see now and you won't hear me for a good 4 or 5 minutes. Anyway, right, we've got the room up. Before we go in, today I'm going to give away 5 battle passes per round. So we're about to go into the final of the upper bracket. That's Feast versus ID. I need you to predict who will win, number 1, the entire bracket, and what the score will be. Simple as that. So, for example, ID wins 5-0. And it will be the first 5 people who predict it correctly will win. Okay? So, that's how we're going to go. It's got to be the correct predictions, not I was close, not ID wins 5-0 and ID go and win 6-0. Well, that won't kill you. You've got to get it accurate. 5-0. Anyway, let's jump into the room. I hope that's all clear. He says, hoping. So we will go out on New Bay, and as you can see, we have Feast on the north spawn, ID on the south spawn. Feast have already readied up. We have Bifrost in the E5F Silver in a Vickers, Hidden Surprise in a Mouse, 007 James in a Crown Wagon, Zipak in a Mouse, Sleeping Lion in a Crown Wagon, Sugar Magoo in an E5. Moving over to ID, well, they're yet to ready up. At the moment, we've only got a few of them ready to do. In fact, they haven't even got a full team as of yet. Well, they have. No, they haven't got the full team as of yet. Now they have. So the full team is now here. Remember, guys, I need you to predict not just the winner of... I want the prediction of who's going to win this round. Not just this game, but this entire round between Feast and ID. And I need accurate predictions. And 5 battle passes are up for grabs here, guys. Yes. Still waiting for ID to fully ready up. They're not there as of yet. So we're just waiting for Radioactive. So far we have Campon in the IS-4, Active Duty in a TVP, Gayam in a T-22, Lanny in a VK-70. Oh, they're changing around. Okay, we have Campon in the IS-4, Active Duty in a Kranwagen, Gayam in an IS-4, Lanny in an IS-4, Radioactive in a Mouse. Still waiting on Spartans and IDS. Spartans in the IS-4, IDS in a Mouse. So 2 mouses for ID. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, with that here on the on New Bay, they can only be going to that middle area at the bottom of the ramps, or maybe they're going for the going to try and fast cap C and push through that area. You just never know realistically. 2 mouses on the other side as well. Are they going to fast cap B, or are we going to have a mouse brawl in the middle at the bottom of the ramps where the flyover is? Well, we'll find out in seconds few, like now. Well, hit point should be pretty similar. Well, ID just topping it. Mainly because of the Vickers Light of F Silver, I think. Yeah, it looks that way. They've got a brace more of IS-4s. So let's get up high into the back. What are Feast going to do? Well, F Silver is already heading towards the ramps. Feast, Crown Wagons, and, well, everybody's actually turning now. So ramps seem to be the way to go. At the moment, F Silver trying to get the spots. He spots Game, he spots Spartan Sword. The Mouses are going down the middle lane there to where the overpass is. The IS-4s here of ID are coming up the ranks, and so is... Well, no, Radioactive is staying down, but he's going low near the ramp. And Active Duty and IDS are going near the side. And as you can see, Hidden Surprise already down in that lane with Zepak, where I sort of predicted them to be. Here comes Radioactive. IDS is already there as well. F Silver is getting out of dodge. Lanny is over the ramp, trying to put pressure onto James. Going to leave the ramps for the moment because the brawl is over here. See if we can get down. It's pretty difficult with the ramp. So we're rolling at the moment just with IDS. And you can see Feaster trying to come in and help out Hidden Surprise, who's now a one-shot. Zepak is coming in as well. Hidden Surprise, now he's a one-shot, sorry, he was a two-shot. Hidden Surprise is in a bit of danger here. You can see Sugar Magoo's coming in. Hidden Surprise, will he escape? Well, Radioactive is very, very healthy. Hidden Surprise goes down. He does not escape, but they push on and they take down IDS. Feast, Bifrost and Sugar Magoo trying to get around the back here with Sleeping Lion, trying to stop Active Duty from escaping. Sleeping Lion is worse for wear, so is 007 James, but so is Lanny. Active Duty should go down. No, he doesn't. He does now, but Sleeping Lion also goes down. James is a one-shot. He's going to go down to Lanny. Down he goes. Back over here, Zepak. He is being harassed by Radioactive and Spartan Sword. It's 4 against 5. But Lanny is basically a 3-shot. Spartan Sword is being trickled down here, but Zepak will go down. He's a 2-shot. Now he's a 1-shot. He's going to go. Down he goes. Now F Silver's a 1-shot, but so is Lanny, and they still haven't got rid of Lanny. Now they have. So we've got Bifrost and Sugar Magoo, and 2 very healthy E5s, but it's 3 against 4. Spartan Sword is the one that they're after, but they can't get hold of him. Campon is coming in, rushing down, trying to put the shots into the back of Sugar Magoo, and he does. Good roll there by Campon. Here comes Gayem. Spartan Sword is just going to stay at the back. Leave it to Gayem. Campon and Radioactive are all very healthy. Spartan Sword may give F Silver a bit of a going over in that Vickers, however. Sugar Magoo looking worse for wear here. Let's go down with him. Oh no, we'll stay with Bifrost. Sugar Magoo goes down. Bifrost is now... Well, let's go quickly over to F Silver, see what he's doing. Well, he's trying to take down Spartan Sword. That's 1 shot. Spartan Sword is on a reload. Can he get another one in? Can he take him down? But it doesn't matter. He's the last man standing anyway. This is going to go to ID. And it does. So, ID get it. Convincing stuff by ID, not going to lie. They were looking very, very smart indeed. Very, very collective. They were looking very, very good. Feast, not looking such of a tasty feast at the moment. But we're going to swap those spawn points here with Feast now on the south spawn, ID on the north spawn. So, Feast have already readied up. Bifrost in the IS-4, F Silver in a mouse this time. Hidden Surprise in a mouse, 007 James in an IS-4, Zepak in a mouse, Sleeping Lion in a Crown Wagon, and Sugar Magoo in an IS-4. ID have now read up. We have Campon and a 215B. That's an interesting selection for this map. Active Duty in the Crown Wagon, Gayem in the IS-4, Lanny in the Crown Wagon, Radioactive in the IS-4, Spartan Sword in the IS-4, And IDS in the IS4. Clearly they're liking the IS4. So, who is it going to be this time? Arfie's going to be able to pull it back. They need to. On the back foot at the moment, ID do have that advantage. They are 1-0, and they are convincingly 1-0. Looking at the hit points, Feast now topping the hit points there with 3 mouses. But mobility and DPM, I say, have to go to ID. What with those IS4s, the Kranwagens, and that 215B. With the super duper special camo that Campon has gone out and done a lot of aces to get. 4, in fact. So, Feast this time heading towards the C-cap kind of en masse, which sort of makes me believe that ID are aiming for the B-cap, apart from Campon in his super duper blue octopus camo. There it is. Not the red one, but the blue one. Completely ignoring the B-cap. And the IS4s are just pushing right through here from ID. They feel that they've got the bit between their teeth here. They're going to try and put a lot of pressure onto Feast, knowing that those mouses are not the easiest tanks to maneuver. Not to worry though, I mean, Feast also have a lot of IS4s. Let's not kid ourselves here. Oh, look at Lanny. Lanny coming right around to put a lot of pressure onto Bifrost. This is very aggressive stuff by ID. Bifrost is going to go down here. Bifrost is down. Oh, Radioactive is looking worse for wear. So is Spartan Sword. However, they really have taken the advantage of... Oh, down goes Spartan Sword to Zepak. But they have taken advantage of those mouses and their inability to move. Campon should be able to take down James here. I say should. Radioactive is down as well, but so is James. Now we're brawling over this side. It's Sugar Magoo. He's looking worse for wear. He's going to go down. IDS should be able to finish him off. I say should. He's got to get that that side on, or that turret ring from there, and he gets him side on. Now they've just got... Oh, Lanny is in a brace of trouble here. Sleeping Lion is going to give him a hard time. Lanny is actually going to give Sleeping Lion a hard time though. Oh, Sleeping Lion really in a bad way. Down goes Campon. Sleeping Lion now a one shot and a ram, effectively, if he wanted to be, but down he goes. So it's now, however, 2 against 3, and it's 3 mouses against 2 IS4s. Zepak will go down. Oh, no he won't, because Guillaume will go down first. Now it's 1 against 3. 1 IS4, 3 mouses. Let's get down with IDS. Who's got it all to do. I don't think he's going to survive this one, poor old IDS. He's got too much HP to get through and a little amount of HP himself. Oh dear. Poor old ID. Down he goes. Valiant effort by IDS. Really aggressive strat by ID, but those mouses there of Feast proving a bridge or a mouse too far. So, Feast, turn it around. Although Bifrost did go down with a donut. Bless him. Like I said, very aggressive, but they did have a lot of hit points to go through ID there. And it was always going to be an uphill struggle with those 3 mouses, even though they left them to the end, quite rightly so. But F Silver, almost 5k. So now we're going to switch to Mayan Ruins. 1-1. We will have Feast on the south spawn, ID on the north spawn. Excuse the saxophone going off in the background. That's my kid. He likes blowing the saxophone. He has a music lesson basically. And because we have this horrible virus, everything's online. So, Feast of Ready Up, we have Bifrost in the E5, F Silver in a T22, Hidden Surprise in the IS4, 007 James in a Kranwagen, Zepak in an E5, Sleeping Lion in a Kranwagen, Sugar Magoo in an E5. Moving over to ID, well, we have Campon in the IS4, Active Duty in a Clanwagon, Game in an E5, Lanny in a Clanwagon, Radioactive in a Mouse, Spartan Sword in the IS4, and IDS in a Mouse. Oh, Retro Guy, there's always somebody disliking the stream. It's just the way it works, mate. Every stream gets a dislike. Every stream. Welcome to YouTube. That's YouTube for you, mate. Most of the time they don't even watch it and they still dislike. So, hit points are in favour of ID, mainly because they got 2 mouses. Chris, trust me, they are giving out battle passes for June. I'm official CC. I know what wargaming are doing. Trust me. So, looking at Feast, well, we got F Silver in the T22 heading for the C-Cap. Zipak will cover him a little bit. Isn't surprised he's probably just going to sit here by this rock. The rest of the team going to the middle type area. What about ID if I don't get stuck on a ruin here on Mayan? Well, Gayem, you can see that he's just holding there, making sure that if anything pops on the A-Cap, he will see it. Crown Wagons of Lanny, Active Duty, are just overlooking the B-Cap. Spartan Sword in Campon, well, they'll be looking to try and drop into the B-Cap in IDS. He's going to push down, and he is also probably going to be overlooking that B-Cap along with Radioactive. But Radioactive gets a bit of a smack as he tries to get across the map. Now that came in from Bifrost. Spartan Sword, well, he's already straight into the B-Cap. And there's only hidden surprise in Sugar Magoo there. Sugar Magoo is able to put a good round into Spartan Sword there to reset. They are down on caps at the moment, but I am anticipating that Gayem should be dropping into that A-Cap any moment soon, and there he goes. B-Cap has been taken. A-Cap is effectively free real estate. So points will start going to ID here. Meaning that Feast will have to do all the pushing. And that's easier said than done on this map. Much easier said than done. So Sugar Magoo and Sleeping Lion trying to put shots into Spartan Sword and Campon. Spartan Sword trying to get into a position of safety, but he is in the middle of the B-Cap, so it's pretty difficult to do. And as you can see there, now Campon is being pushed by James and Bifrost at the same time. Spartan Sword actually is the target acquisition for Bifrost. Good shots into Bifrost, but Spartan Sword will go down here. Sugar Magoo will take him. Campon is now in a bit of trouble, but Sugar Magoo has gone down. Campon, well, he's in the thick of it. But then again, so is Bifrost. Gayem coming in. He'll probably drop down to put shots into Bifrost, try and take him out the game. Down goes Bifrost. Campon, however, has also gone. So 2 tanks down apiece. The mouse here of IDS pushing down onto Hidden Surprise, trying to give him a bit of pressure. Radioactive also putting shots in. Hidden Surprise here, well, he's no longer hidden and he's no longer a surprise. Simple as that, really. But F Silver is Sleeping Lion is coming around to help. Lanny, however, is going to try and chase down James or Zepak. F Silver coming around, and look at the points. They're favouring ID, and look at this. F Silver is trying to make a move through the middle, on the outside. And I thought Gayem there was going to come and try and stop him, but he wasn't. IDS did turn. Active Duty has come round. They are going to have to try and stop F Silver from capping. If F Silver caps, they will start getting points. F Silver can't cap. He knows it's too late. 3 tanks down, though, for ID. They have lost Lanny as well. Gayem is being harassed by F Silver because IDS is chasing him round. Now, can Active Duty keep F Silver there while IDS gets round? He is in a T22. It is difficult. Gayem will finish him off, though. Now Sleeping Lion will finish off Gayem. It's like tit for tat. It's now 3 against 4. Hit points are favouring Feast. Guns on the battlefield are favouring Feast. B cap has been taken, but they are down on cap points at the moment. But they do have 2 Mouses and a Kranwagen, and it's the Kranwagen who's in danger here. Active Duty is in serious danger, but they're pushing down onto Zepak there. IDS trying to get Zepak out the game. However, Active Duty, down he goes. Down goes Zepak. Now Sleeping Lion is going to cap A. This is going to put real pressure on the ID because IDS will need to cap the B cap. He has no choice, and that leaves him vulnerable and exposed. Radioactive is going to try and put pressure on, but Feast win it on the points. Oof! What a game! What a game! Really, really good stuff. Nail-biting finishes. Thought ID had that, but great comeback by Feast. Wowzers. Unbelievable stuff. Great, great games. This is what you want to see in the Pro Tour. So Feast now take the advantage, going up 2-1 against ID. Now we're going to swap those spawn points here on mine. We will have Bifrost in an E5. We will have Feast on the North spawn, ID on the South spawn. Feast will ready up. We'll have Bifrost in the E5, F Silver in T22, Hidden Surprise in a Mouse, 007 James in an E5, Zepak in an IS4, Sleeping Lion in a Kranwagen, and Sugar Magoo in an E5, maybe. Moving over to ID, well, we have Campon in the IS4, Active Duty in a Kranwagen, Gayab in an E5, Lanny in an IS4, Radioactive in the IS4, Spartan Sword in an IS4, and IDS in a Mouse. Sugar Magoo did drop out of an E5 and change that for an IS4. So ID, they've got to dig deep. Feast have just won back-to-back games. That's going to upset them a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Hunky Warden, you're well off, mate. Yeah, 2-1. Feast, well, no one can win 2-1. It just won't work. Like I said, there are always people are going to dislike. For very, very many reasons. Anyway, enough of the dislikes. The likes are enough. 56 people and 13 likes. It's normal. So, what can we do? Hit points favouring ID again, main because of that Mouse. And that load of IS4s, but are they going to be enough to stop Feast's relentless charge? Well, we'll soon find out. So, getting a pie here. F Silver heading towards the C cap. Feast, in return, are going towards the B cap area. It looks like they're not even going to overlook the A cap. Moving around the map, let's get over to see what ID are doing. Well, ID at the moment, heading towards the A cap and the middle area. Game looking to oversee the cap of A, probably from this rock right here. Well, this rock in this bush, yep, that's where he's going to park his backside. Radioactive is looking again to try and get over the top into that B cap, but he can't. There is Sleeping Lion there already covering it. He gives a good shot to Sleeping Lion. C cap has been taken, so again, the cap point advantage will go to Feast. Gayam will probably now take the A cap again. Yes, he does. So all they've got to do now, basically, is try and get that B cap if they can, or get at least 2 tanks out of the game. Because Feast at the moment, what happens is when you kill a tank, by the way, the one team loses 80 points and the other team gains 80 points. That's what happens in Supremacy. For those of you who didn't know. Gayem, looking to get around the back. I'm going to go with Gayem for the moment. He's looking to surprise Hidden Surprise, who was hidden, and he's no longer a surprise, and he's no longer hidden. Good stuff by Gayem, trying to get around the back of him. He saw he was isolated, or anticipated he was isolated, and he was indeed isolated. However, Sugar Magoo, they're pushing down onto Radioactive. Feast are trying to put Radioactive into a bit of a tight spot here. He has taken the B cap, so ID will start getting points soon. And as you can see, Sleeping Lion, Zepak, and Hidden Surprise all losing hit points at the moment. Hit points are now favouring ID, but Radioactive is in a world of pain. He's got to get into a little bit of safety if he can, and try and force Sugar Magoo to pop out so the tanks behind him can shoot. And that's what he just did. Campon did get a shot in, but Campon now trying to rotate round. So in surprise, it looks like it's going to be the target acquisition, leaving Radioactive, unfortunately, to his own devices. Hidden Surprise here is being really harassed by Gayem. Campon is coming around to put shots into Sugar Magoo. I'm going to leave that battle yet again. Sugar Magoo now, tables have turned. He was putting pressure onto Radioactive. Now the pressure is on Sugar Magoo. And he is a 2-shot effectively. And now he's a 1-shot. No, he's gone. Now Bifrost is in trouble. IDS and Active Duty, well, yeah, he's now a 1-shot. IDS should be able to finish him off. No, he doesn't. Campon does. In Surprise goes down. This is good stuff. Radioactive has gone down though. Lanny very aggressively far forward there. He didn't need to be. It's 4 tanks against 6. They can just hold back. They're on 870 points. Now they're losing tanks. F Silver just taking out Active Duty. Now he's going to tussle with IDS. Lanny has put himself in a real world of pain. Don't understand why he's done that. He didn't need to do that. He's going to go down. He's a 1-shot. Zepak should finish him off with a well-timed round to the rear. No, he gets into safety. They're pushing down on Sleeping Lion. Sleeping Lion is going to go down, and as soon as he goes down, it will be a win for ID if and when he does go down. Oh, he hasn't gone down. Lanny goes down instead, but they do win. ID taking the victory here. So, swings in roundabouts. Yet again. I can't. Why would you ask me to join the platoon when you can see I'm streaming? Anyway, so very close game again. Really, really close game. But congratulations to ID. They level it up, pushing it into Rockfield. Decider time. So this is winner takes it all. A lot at stake here for these two clans. Not going to lie. Makes it easier for them if they can get through today. It puts a bit of pressure on them if they don't, because they then have to drop down and they will have to play HLV. So we will have Feast on the south spawn, on the north spawn, sorry, here on Rockfield. ID on the south spawn. Both teams are readied up. We have Bifrost in the E5, F Silver in the T22, Hidden Surprise in the IS4, 007 James in an E5, Zepak in an IS4, Sleeping Lion in a Kranwagen, and Sugar Magoo in an E5. Moving over to ID, we have Campon in the IS4, Active Duty in a Kranwagen, Gayem in an IS4, Lanny in an IS4, Radioactive in an IS4, Spartan Sword in an E5, and IDS in a Kranwagen. With the exception of F Silver, not a single medium or light. ID favouring their heavies. Certainly favouring the IS4. I feel like Homer Simpson. Stop playing that saxophone. I should have called him Lisa, not George. No, it's best of 5, hunky. Come on, get a grip. So, hit points favouring ID, mainly because they really like the IS4. It's as simple as that. So, last game. Let's get up high to the back of the map and see where they're going to be running to and why. So, Feast are looking for the B and the A strat. That's pretty much obvious. What about ID? Well, they are doing pretty much the same thing, so let's park our backsides by the A cap and watch the battle commence. F Silver far forward there in the T22, trying to get those early spots. He himself has been spotted, but he does spot up almost the entire team. He spots up 5 in one quick go, where only 1 has been spotted on Feast. That's him himself, F Silver. Great spotting by F Silver. Campon dropping into the A cap. He will take it. There's no way anybody can get a shot in there. Not even HE roll will help there. The rest of ID, well, they're just parking just behind Campon, trying to sucker Feast in. Zepak, well, he looks like he would like to get to the B cap. F Silver moving all the way around to the C cap. Now, Radioactive was there, but he's moved out. Zepak isn't even bothering with the B cap, and F Silver isn't bothering with the C cap. So, Zepak has found Radioactive, but he doesn't want to go too far forward because ID are able to rotate those tanks around. Basically, the Active Duty and the Clan Spartan Sword in IDS. And as you can see, IDS has been spurred into action to come over this side. It is Feast who need to make the move. They are losing out here. They're not losing hit points, they're losing base points. Zepak finally does drop into the B cap. Radioactive will now start making a move. F Silver is there to try and prevent that. You can see Radioactive, well, he's throwing, but it's too late. B cap has been taken. And now if F Silver takes the C cap, that will change the dynamic of the game. Hence the reason why ID are now pushing. ID are realizing that maybe, just maybe, they've got the advantage on tanks at the top here. They're able to push through. Hidden Surprise is the target. And he really is the target. And the focus fire is very good. Down goes Hidden Surprise. So, Feast are now on the back foot. As they continue their charge forward. ID, they're trying now to get round onto Sleeping Lion or possibly James. James seems to be the target rather than Sleeping Lion. Sugar Magoo and Bifrost trying to come around the back along with F Silver and Zepak. But James and Sleeping Lion are caught off guard. They're isolated. They've been absolutely ring-fenced. Active Duty takes him down. 2 down. Gayam is gone, however. Now, down goes IDS. Can Feast bring it back? However, the points are still behind them. What about the hit points? Well, the hit points are now favouring them still. Campon is a 2-shot. Zepak and Bifrost. Oh, gets double tapped. 1 by Sleeping Lion, 1 by Zepak. So it's 4 against 4 because they've also lost James, F Silver, and Hidden Surprise. It's a brawl. That's all it is. It's just a brawl. Bifrost is the target. Bifrost, they're trying to whittle him down slowly and slowly, but Spartan Sword, down he goes. It's now 3 against 4. Bifrost needs to be taken out. It's now 3 against 3. Hit points still favouring ID. But 2 IS-4s and a Crown Wagon against an IS-4, an E5 and a Crown Wagon. Lanny looking worse for wear. Sugar Magoo and Sleeping Lion really bullying Lanny, whereas Active Duty and Radioactive are bullying Zepak in the IS-4. They consider him more of a dangerous target, clearly. So they're going to take down Zepak. Active Duty should finish him off. Yes, he does. Can they survive? No, Lanny is down. It's 2 on 2. Hit points are in favour. Everything is in favour of ID at the moment. They are going to be looking for possibly Sleeping Lion. Yes, they are. He's the lowest and he's got the worst DPM. Look at Sugar Magoo doing his best to really annoy them. He's going to try and put HE rounds into their rear, and he does. So that turns the guns. He drops his reactive armor, trying to make sure that he can stay alive. Sleeping Lion will be able to load his clip. Oh, this is good stuff by Feast. Really good stuff by Feast. Active Duty. Oh, but Sleeping Lion now. What's going to go down? Active Duty's a 1-shot. Down he goes. This is neck and neck. Radioactive, can he do it? Let's get down there. Radioactive. He needs to get rid of Sleeping Lion. Sugar Magoo doing everything to prevent it. Sleeping Lion doing everything to prevent it. Oh my giddy aunt. He's left him on a 1-shot. He's got to keep bouncing his Radioactive. He's got to bounce Sugar Magoo. Sleeping Lion is going to fully load his clip. He needs to take him out now. He misses. Sugar Magoo, Sleeping Lion doesn't. Sugar Magoo doing great stuff here. Feast are going to get this. Possibly, if they can just land their shots. Hit points are favouring. Oh, they were favouring ID. They're now favouring Feast. Oh, he bounces Sleeping Lion again. This is disastrous for poor old Radioactive. He is now a 1-shot. Bouncing Sleeping Lion 3 times. That's not what he wanted to do. He wanted Sleeping Lion out of the game. Oh, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. He low rolls. And Feast snap the victory away. Oh, what a game. Commiserations to ID. It was a great game indeed. They really put up as much as they could, and it was so close. This is nail-biting stuff, guys. Congratulations to Feast. They had to dig deep to win that. It was not easy at all. Wow. So, let's have a look. It was, in the end, 3-2. So, let's have a look. How many people said 3-2 to Feast? Well, Fompard did. Well done, Fompard. There's one battle pass. So, we got Fompard. Oh, Haomi also. Mango Lingo. Hunky Warden. Although he didn't say. Hunky didn't say who to who. You need to say who was going to get the 3. You just said 3-2. You didn't say who, I'm afraid. Oh, you did. You did. You said Feast. Ooh, lucky. Lycan, you also, but you've already won a battle pass. So, but that was the last one anyway. So that's 4. So 6 up for grabs in the next game. So the next games will be coming up shortly. Not now, but shortly. So wowzers, what a game. See what else has been going on, shall we? Oh, dearie me. So, Feast will go into play tomorrow now. Oh, no. Today. Oh, yeah, they do play today in the upper bracket. That's right. It's the grand finals upper bracket. Whereas ID, while they play in the lower bracket in about 20 minutes, the winner of that will then play Feast, I believe. Yeah, they should do in about an hour's time from now. Moving down, well, we've got HLV to play up next. Well, did it go with RN and E7? Well, RN beating E7, so E7 will drop down. And they will play GV in the lower bracket final today. So that's what we're looking at. Oh, jolly, jolly, gosh, gosh. So we have 6 battle passes now up for grabs, but we have 2 more games. 2 more games. So I'm going to give away 3 battle passes in both games. So in the next round, which will be ID against HLV, again, predict the score. Who will win, etc., etc. That's what you need to do. So I'll just put that in the chat, and as I'm doing that, you can watch a lovely little replay, I think. If I can find a lovely little replay. In fact, I've got a lovely little replay somewhere. Where did I put it? So we've got this one. I don't know if it's a lovely little replay. Hoping it is. And whilst that's going on, I'm just going to look around things and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, kind of back. After doing, I never went away. I was just doing admin, and all you would have heard really was typing away foolishly, which is always a thing. Don't I get tired? What battery am I operating on? I don't know. High caffeine intake or something. So, just to put you in the picture, guys, you can win more than one battle pass, but not on a single stream. So, for example, you can only win one battle pass per stream. That means for this stream, for the Asia stream, you can only win one battle pass. Okay? If you then jump onto the NA stream, then you can win another battle pass. And if you jump onto the EU stream, you can then win a third battle pass. Okay, that's how it works. But if you've already won a battle pass on the Asia streams, then unfortunately you can't win another one. That would be unfair. If you've already won a battle pass on NA, same, and EU, same. But there's nothing preventing you winning a battle pass on all the other streams. What battery do I operate on? I'm Duracell, mate. I just keep on going and going and going and going. I'll play this replay. Once this replay is finished, I'm going to put in another replay and I'm going to get another coffee, if you don't mind. We have got 10 minutes. Although I should do the map flyovers as well, which I haven't done. That's a great game, my man, Yunny Ted. Really tricky tank as well, the FV. Fantastic mastery. Wow, deserved. Tricky one indeed is the FV. Right, I'm going to put another replay on, then I'm going to get a coffee, and then I'll be back straight after that. I'm back. I'm coffeed up. So we'll try it that way. Oish, oish, oish. Got about 6 minutes, so straight after this we'll have a look at the maps, see what maps they're going out on, because it's always interesting to know. I do like the T-30, to be fair. It's just a heavy tank with a big gun. Once you get used to it, it's a beautiful tank. I mean, look at that. It's got one heck of a derp on it. As you can see, good old Peter is in the house. That's a great game. 5.5k. Did he miss any there? I don't know, because I was too busy getting coffee. No, it is 5.5k. 5.5k, what a game. The Duke 4H. So let's have a look at those maps. HIV and ID. Desert Sands, Winter Malanovka. Let's have a look at Desert Sands first. This is Desert Sands. Again, another one of the tried and tested tournament maps. So what are we expecting to see here? Well, if this was a public game, we'd expect everybody to go to the CCAP and have a big brawl. Not necessarily the same in tournaments. What we get in tournaments is we will get the light tanks pushing over, trying to get to this position over here, not into the cap, but onto that ridge, and vice versa, with the heavies then coming up in support. And as they cross, you may see them putting blind shots down the line of the tracks. The reason being is because the other team may be crossing, and you never know your luck. So with their lights, as I said, they push down, try to get to this position, get those early spots. Pretty much the same from the other side. They like to stick them here to get those early spots, with the rest of the heavies coming in support. And you will see some teams taking their tanks around this way, and some teams then taking them through round here to try and get those early caps. It is also not uncommon to see them taking, for example, IS-4s, bringing them down here, and instead of going straight into the desert, onto this bridge, and then into the desert, that way they can put pressure on depending on where the teams are. And pretty much the same from the other side. Like say, down here, and then through. If they do go to the C cap, well, what they generally do, they cap it fast with their heavies. They then pull out and they'll generally side scrape off this building and this building just to make sure the B cap isn't taken. The key to this strat here, however, is getting that cap first. Once they've done that, they then need to protect their flanks, because that becomes the danger area. And as you can see, this flank here, with the exception of a few buildings, it's pretty easy if you've got a great all-down tank like a Kranwagen or something to sit here on this ridge and basically farm, waiting for the other side, waiting for the rest of the teams to stack up so you can push over. From the other side, pretty much the same. So this is why clans generally don't go for the C strat, because there's two flanks to defend, and except for the few buildings right at the start, it's pretty much wide open. And as soon as they take out the tanks that are around here, well, it's pretty dangerous stuff. We do get a lot of action around the A cap and, well, in between the A and the B cap necessarily around there. But again, it all depends. Keep telling you this, they have multiple strats for these maps, and we won't know until we see their meta selection and initial positioning. Either way, it's going to be a great game. Should have time for a Winter Malanovka. Let's see. This is Winter Malanovka. Again, one of those older but more interesting maps here on the tour circuit. So what can we expect to see here? Well, we can expect to see lights or mediums coming down, pushing around here, trying to get those early spots onto that A cap. Same from the other side. Feeling particularly aggressive, you may see them sending IS-4s and E3s down, peeling a couple off to sit on this ramp here, with the rest of them moving up. Well, not the rest, one or two of them moving up to this area, trying to flank round. Going back to this spawn, 9 times out of 10 you will see a super heavy on this map, and they like to put them either around here to to put pressure on that B cap, or more likely around here again to put pressure on the B cap. Same from the other side. You may see them putting them by this rock, although that is dangerous because if anything flanks around, they can get them. If anything comes from behind, they can get them. And more likely, you'll get them around this area, and even more likely around here. C-cap wise, well, I have seen some clans taking their their hull down tanks, Kranwagons and E5s. If so, they'll stick them around here from this side to put pressure on the C-cap. From the other side, well, they'll push them right into this corner because it's a bit of a better slope. 9 times out of 10, the brawl area is around the B-cap area, between the B-cap being the center of attention, but generally between C and A, conjugating round on the B-cap. Either way, Winter Malinovka has always been a great little map, and it's always been one that interesting and innovative strats take the order of the day. We are set to have a great game here, as always, and no doubt we're going to see some really, really good gameplay. Okay, so we're readied up. We've got 20 seconds to go. HLV will be on the north spawn. ID on the south. We have Safety Zone in the Vickers, 7710 in the IS-4, Boa Sorte in the IS-4, and Joy Solo Q in the Mouse. From Abyss in a Kranwagen, Koryu in an E5, Saruzu in an E5. ID will go through there as soon as we get into the game because we've run out of time. Boom! That's what happens. So we have Campon, Lanny in IDS, Ball in IS-4s, Active Duty in a Clan, Radioactive in Spartan Sword in E5s, and Gayam in a Vickers. So, we will lose a clan in this game, I do believe. The winner of this game will go on to play Feast. So, who's it going to be? Well, let's get up high and get to the back of the map. HLV, well, they are going out into the desert. Let's rotate over, fly over the map, get him in the Vickers there. He's going to take that spot straight into that ridge line, as you can see. Spotting them up as they go across. Are the cross shots coming in? No, but there are cross shots going the other way. Nothing's landing, however. Get him in Spartan Sword, trying to put pressure on. Radioactive there, well, he's moving towards that B-cap area. Nobody went down the tracks, and Joy Solo Q in the Mouse is going to be overlooking B. This is going to be a brawly type of game, I believe. We've already got HLV, with the exception of Enjoy Solo Q, out in the desert. We have Radioactive. He's pushing down onto Enjoy Solo Q into the B-cap, though. He's going to stay there. He's not going to push onto Enjoy Solo Q too much, and he's got to be careful. He can be reset from there. Here comes Enjoy Solo Q. He's going to be looking at putting an HE roll in. He does, but it doesn't do anything. They cap B. Now, let's get quickly into the desert again because HLV are pushing round, trying to get round that flank. 7710 gets a smack from IDS as he does. Campon also gets a smack, but he doesn't land on 7710. Spartan Sword and Active Duty now in the line of fire. Suruzu, Koryu and 7710 all pushing around the flank, now joined by Safety Zone in the Vickers. Who is the target acquisition though? Well, Boa Sorte is looking for worse way. I'm going to leave that because they're not focused yet. Poor old Boa Sorte, worse for wear here. And Joy Solo Q is still tussling with Radioactive. Sarazu is losing rapidly hit points. Down he goes. He must have had an engine fire or something. He did get like triple tapped. 7710, I mean, Active Duty is a one-shot. It's not turned out well, that push by HLV. Boa Sorte down to a one-shot. HLV are losing tanks. They are losing hit points. And Joy Solo Q is now down to a two-shot, three-shot main. No two shots, nice for IDS. Oh, managing to take down 7710 before he can get the shot in. This is looking very, very good for ID. From Abyss, oh, he gets a shot in, but now he is a two-shot himself. Nobody's focused on him. Yes, they are. Comes in from the back. IDS may be able to finish him off if he loads up. Boa Sorte, down he goes. Koryu, oh, down goes from Abyss. Koryu and Safety Zone and Joy Solo Q still tussling over in the corner there with Active Duty, Radioactive, sorry. Radioactive is looking very, very nice. Safety Zone, he's realistically going to go down. Down they all go at the same time. ID win it. What a great game. A bit brawly, but we expected that. What a fantastic game. HLV, well, what started as a promising push down that flank really backfired against them. ID were able to consolidate, rotate tanks in, help each other out, and really sort it out. So, boom! Swap those swap those spawn points. This time we have HLV on the south spawn, ID on the north. HLV will have safety zone in a Vickers, 7710 in the IS4, Boa Sorte for the IS4. Enjoy Solo Q in a Mouse from Abyss in the Kranwagen, Koyu in an E5, Sarazu in an E5. Moving over to ID, we have Campon in the IS4, Active Duty in the Kranwagen, GM in a Vickers, Lanny in the IS4, Radioactive in the E5, Spartan Sword in an E5, and IDS in an IS4. So, well, Martin, I hope everything's okay. I've only just picked up that. Small or large, heart attack is still a heart attack, mate. It's still a scary thing. Thoughts and prayers are with you, my man. So 20 seconds to go. 1-0 up. A team ID, don't forget, guys, is best of 5. Best of 5. So it's the first of 3 victories. It's getting pretty tense on Asia, to be fair. The games are being fantastically well played by all clans. So, looking at the hit points, HLV again topping the hit point pool. And let's get a pie into the back, as we normally do. HLV, apart from Enjoy Solo Q, well, they're all heading out into the desert again. It looks like it's going to be the same strat, but in reverse. Oh, look at that. HID are already putting those cross shots in. Have they landed any yet? No, not yet. But they're trying to get them over. They're all blind shots. Oh, they land one on Boa Sorte. That was a blind shot. Those are blind shots. And as I said, that's what they tend to do when you go over those tracks. So moving around, Game again, really far forward in the Vickers, trying to get those early spots. Not spotting anything. Oh, Enjoy Solo Q has been spotted. Campon, Spartan Sword. Well, it's pretty much same for ID as well. It's a mirror strat for both teams. Let's get around here and let's see what's going to go down. Radioactive, yet again, jumping into that C-cap. You can see 7710 trying to get high up here, trying to get a little... My mouse is so active. Trying to get behind... Oh, he gets smacked for his troubles though. The problem with the IS4 when it's there, it has mediocre gun depression at the best of times, but it has a very exposed bottom plate. And that's the problem 7710 is experiencing there. HLV again, slightly on the back foot here. Don't forget, HLV were the winners of the Winter Tour, so... Not Winter, I mean the Blitz Tour. Blitz Cup last year, which was like the replacement for Twister. Bit of a stalemate here. At the moment, ID hold all the cards and they control the map. Enjoy Solo Q is not tussling with Radioactive this time. He's come up in under. I don't know, it may work. He gets a good shot into Spartan Sword, but now Campon... Oh, HLV are going for the A-cap. And are they going for a push at the same time? Boa Sorte losing a load of hit points now as they push. They are going for the push, not going for the cap. Oh, Abyss getting an engine firing, getting absolutely wrecked. Campon also getting wrecked. Campon's down. Abyss, however, is a one-shot. They need to finish him off. They're not going to be able to... Oh, they do. Gayam, however, in the Vickers. He's worse for wear, but he is a Vickers, so that's hardly surprising. So, at the moment, ID... Oh, they've got all the cards. Avoiding the mouse. Very nicely done by ID. Going on to Kuru and looking to try and get Boa Sorte as well. Active Duty losing a brace of load of hit points there. Koryu will put another one in just for good measure because Active Duty is on his long reload. Active Duty is not going to last this battle, I wouldn't have thought. No, he doesn't. Down he goes. Gayam as well coming in the Vickers. He's playing with fire there. B and C cap have been taken by ID. Boa Sorte and Koryu both very, very low. IDS needs to take down one of them. Oh, he lets Koryu get away from him. Down goes safety zone, courtesy of Radioactive. Look at all the low hit point tanks out there. Boa Sorte is now a one-shot. Is IDS going to be able to load? No, Radioactive takes him down. Moving over here, the Spartan Sword goes down, but so does Koryu. 7-7-10 is a one-shot. Enjoy Solo Q, well, he's a mouse. And Saruzu is very healthy in the E5. However, it's now 2 against too many. Hit points are favouring, oddly enough, HLV. Mainly because they've got a very oh, but it's all over on points anyway. ID win it. Oof, there you go. Well done again, ID. HLV just losing out on the cap points there. I think they had the advantage on... They didn't have advantage with tanks in the game, but they certainly had the advantage on the hit points, and they had almost a full health mouse and a very full health E5 there. Saruzu wasn't even scratched. And Enjoy Solo Q, I think he'd only had 2 shots taken into him, so he was incredibly healthy. Whereas ID, Lanny and Game was a one-shot. And Radioactive and Lanny had lost quite a lot of hit points. So unlucky that for HLV, but it is supremacy. Never take your eye off the caps. 2-0 to ID. Penultimate, is this the last game, or are HLV going to dig deep and turn it around, bring it back and do all that? Well, only time will tell. We have HLV here on Winter Malanovka on excuse me, on the North Spawn, ID on the South Spawn. Safety zone in the Vickers. 7-7-10 in the IS-4. Boa Sorte in the IS-4. Enjoy Solo Q and a mouse from Abyss in a Clanwagon. Koryu in the IS-4. And Saruzu in a Clanwagon. Moving over to ID, we have Campon in the T22. Active Duty in the IS-4. Game in the T22. Lanny in a mouse. Radioactive in an E5. Spartan Sword in an E5. And IDS in a mouse. So... that's out. They are rocking out with their meta selection. Excuse me while I drink some coffee. Thank you. Sorry about that. Need coffee. Fujit needs stay awake. I've got 2 more streams to do today. I've got EU and NetA. So, it's sure getting to me, man. And all my hair is falling off. No. So, looking at the hit points again, favouring HLV, but can they do anything with it? Well, they've got to. They've got to dig deep. All their reserves, all their experience, all their knowledge has got to be brought out now. They've got to try and stop the rot. Let's get up high and see where they're going. So, looks like they're going for the middle area, although 7-7-10 and Koryu may be just looking or overlooking the A-cap. Moving around, well, the T-22s of Campon and Gayam are going to jump straight into the A-cap, and why not? They know that the other team have got a lot of very slow tanks apart from the Vickers. If the Vickers would have turned up, they would have been able to handle that. Boa Sorte, well, he's putting good shots into Radioactive, and he's being very aggressive, coming straight down the ramps. He's not going to go straight over, though. He's going to hold there with the Crown Wagons just behind him. So the base points will go to ID. They will collect them first. They have got that base. But Radioactive is looking worse for wear. The mouses of Lanny and IDS are trying to put Boa Sorte under a bit of pressure here. They know he hasn't got the elevation. And at the same time, they can probably get shots across the map. But here comes Enjoy Solo Q. Bit of a ram monster. This is a lot of mouse-on-mouse action. I'm going to leave the mouse-on-mouse action for the moment. And get over here because 7-7-10, well, he's a 2-shot. Now, he was double-tapped and he's lost all his hit points and he's gone. Koryu now is in a world of pain also. As you can see here, he's lost half his hit points. Now he's lost more than half his hit points. So, ID being dominant. Koryu, well, he's going to go down. Those mouses have got to bead into him from the other side of the map. Good crossfire. Really good positioning by the mouses of Lanny and IDS. Not much Koyu can do here. To be fair, he's now really worse for wear. I'm going to leave that. Move over. Active Duty is looking, well, he's looking worse for wear as well. IDS and Lanny are surviving up here against Enjoy Solo Queue. I mean, maybe he's a mouse, and mouses don't really have the DPM to do anything. Boa Sorte, down he goes, eventually allowing and freeing up IDS and Lanny to turn onto the Crown Wagons. IDS goes down, but he's done his job. He's held the tanks up here for as long as he could. Lanny is going to try and not drop down. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to put shots into Enjoy Solo Queue, and he does. Radioactive has gone down, courtesy of Safety Zone in the Vickers. But you can see here, ID have just got the cross-shot bonanza. Lanny finally jumps down. Campon tries to come around the back and put shots into Sarazu. And Abyss just pulling out. Gayem, well, Gayem would like to take down Safety Zone, but it's pretty difficult. So at the moment we've got 4 against 5. Hit points favouring ID, but Lanny is very, very, very worse for wear. And that's a great double tap into Lanny, leaving him on next to nothing, 88 hit points. But Enjoy Solo Queue losing hit points rapidly, courtesy of Gayem. Now he loses some more. He's now a one-shot. Can Gayem finish him off? Gayem is looking for the kill. Here comes Gayem, gets the kill, and at the same time doesn't mind taking the hits from Abyss. Why would he? It's 3 against 4 from Abyss. So he's also in a Crown Wagon. He's not exactly the most able-bodied mobility-wise, and he's on his long load, so Gayem is able to now finish him off realistically, but Safety Zone is still there. He's still being a pain in the posterior. It's 3 on 3, and HLV is still down on hit points, but they are whittling down ID. That's the thing. Sarazu here doing fantastic work holding up these tanks. Active Duty trying to get the final shot in. Will it be a kill shot? Should be. He is a one-shot after all. Down he goes. They are up on points. Now, from Abyss in Safety Zone. Safety Zone has got like 28 hit points. How? I don't know. Somebody low-rolled. Spartan Sword, however, is a one-shot. Campon is a one-shot to the Crown Wagon and a high roll to Vickers of Safety Zone. They do have the bases now, HLV, so in theory they will be able to catch up, but it may be too late. And as you can see, Active Duty and Campon are going to drop into the B cap. They're going to put HLV under immense pressure here. This one is going to probably go to ID unless a miracle were to happen. Active Duty can afford to take at least 2 shots. But he doesn't need to take 2 shots. He took 1, leaving Safety Zone as the last man standing. And it's all over. ID victorious. Wowzers. Well, what can I say? I mean, HLV put up a valiant effort, but ID stronger on the day. We therefore say goodbye to HLV, which is... It's quite sad, really. I like HLV, but it's not going to be their tournament this time, so out they trot. They will be utterly disappointed. They join, obviously, Cats and ENT. So HLV, that is it for them. They are going home. ID, well, they will now go on and play. Guess who? Feast! That's who. In 40 minutes. Well, 30 minutes. Wowzers. Alpenstadt, Halles in Port Bay. Let's drop down to Group 2, see what's going on there. So we had GV and E7. They're still playing. That one's going to be taking a long time. So let's go back, because I've forgotten the maps already. It's going to be Alpenstadt, Halles, Port Bay. We've already seen Port Bay, so Alpenstadt and Halles are the overview maps. Let's have a look at Alpenstadt first. This is Alpenstadt, one of the newer maps on the tour circuit. Now, if this is a pub game, you'll generally find that everybody goes towards that area there with their lights, tries to get round the back, sit up there and put pressure on the A-cap. Not necessarily the case here in tournaments. You may find that they take a Vickers or a medium, put them around here, get those early spots. They could even go as far as this boulder field here, get those spots on the A cap. At the same time, they may send a super heavy, like a mouse or something, go up onto this ridge line just to put a bit of pressure on the B cap, while sending E5s and IS4s round this area, staying low in the dip, with the IS4s going wide to put pressure onto that C cap. If they do go for an A cap, well, normally once they've got those spots or not, they will normally wait to see if anything's spotted and then jump in. Once they've jumped in, they will then try and push round or even rotate back to their spawn. It's pretty much the same from the other side, to be fair. It's a bit of a symmetrical map. Instead of the ramp, though, you generally get them put in their super heavies, mouse, etc. here. Or if they're being particularly aggressive, they may push them up here, trying to angle up that bottom plate. 9 times out of 10, the brawl area is around the town, around the B cap, but it's not uncommon to see it out by the A cap, in the in the river, so to speak. But it's not that common. Same with the C cap. Just want to point out, if they are feeling particularly aggressive on the start, they may send a Vickers up this ridge here. That way, it gets to spot up almost everything going that way. It is uncommon though, and it's a risky strat because you really can get smacked. Either way, Alpenstadt is a great map for brawls, especially between around these areas, around the city area. So we're in for a good game regardless. So now we get to look at Halas, one of the newer maps. And what can we expect to see here? Well, again, multiple strats. It's not uncommon to see them sending a light on its own over here to this C cap, keeping low and dropping straight in. But again, it's also not uncommon to see them sending majority of their tanks over here, using the undulations again of the terrain to get forward and to stay protective. If that's the case, then they'll carry on pushing through and try and get around the back of the other tanks. Going back to the spawn point, what some clans like to do is be pretty aggressive, send their heavies down this route, fast cap here on A, and then carry on pushing down into these ramps here to put pressure on that other cap. Sorry, that's the B cap. Trying to put the pressure on the other cap, and they do it from the other side as well, because there's a nice little dip here also. I have seen some clans, it's not very common though, to send some heavies down this road here and push up around, send some pushing there to put pressure on, and others trying to take decent positions here to put pressure on the other side. From the other spawn, well, pretty much the same. You see clans sending some tanks, not all of their tanks heavy-wise. They will keep some heavies in reserve, like the E5s and the Crown Dragons just back here. They will send their E4s and even a mouse into this area, cap out, and then push down through these two ramps and try and get to the other side, staying hull down and putting pressure on the other team. Some clans do like, as I said, flank round, and even from this cap, it's not uncommon to take the C cap and see their heavies moving around to try and get positions in behind. 9 times out of 10, the brawl area on this map, and it all comes down to it, is between the two caps of A and B. But again, you just never know. I've actually seen brawls taking place in the middle of the map as well. The only time will tell with their meta selection and how they start positioning from the off. Great map, Halas, tricky for all the clans, so it's interesting to see how they play this one. Okay, so that happens to be the maps. I'm not going to show you Port Bay. We've already seen Port Bay numerous times, so we don't need to see that one again. Somebody said they sent me a replay. Here we go. Let's have a look at it. Replay time. Somebody asked why I don't drink tea. I do drink tea. Unfortunately, because of COVID and the lack of stuff coming into the Middle East, they've only got horrid Lipton tea. I don't drink Lipton tea. I drink English tea, not Lipton tea. It's horrible stuff. So that's why I drink coffee. It just happens that way. Yes, Matthew, I forgot the YouTube delay, because there's a delay on YouTube, and I completely forgot about YouTube delay. So, my bad. But anyway, it was pretty obvious who was going to win, to be honest with you, at that stage in the game. It was no danger of ID losing, I don't think. Simple as that. My wife actually sent me a photo yesterday of Anton Chekhov. And she says, you know, oh, ammo rack, nice. Saying that, you know what, you look like Anton Chekhov. I don't think I look like Anton Chekhov. There we go. There are 6 to give away. Do, 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 do. Another hot day here in Dubai. Yeah, one of those things. It also happens. Sarawak. Never been to Sarawak. Been close. I'm not there. If there's 6 winners for long, then they all get a battle pass, basically. Oh, what if less than 6 winners? Well, I'll roll over. So what a great little replay that was. Nice. Did enjoy that. So what else have we got? Because we've got a long time. We have got a long time. Has anybody sent me any emails? No. So we do have a lengthy amount of time on, to be honest with you. So what else have we got? Let's have a look at another. The Duke. It's time in a back chat. Yeah, don't worry if I don't get rid of all the battle passes. You know, it's not one size fits all, guys. I'll roll them over. Simple as that. They'll just be rolled over. Pretty sure it said 4:42. Like 30 minutes. Yeah, wasn't it? I think. Or was it 22? I'm in 2 minds. Hang on a minute. Hang on a moment. Yeah. No, I stopped the replay because I'm worried about, did I get the timings wrong? Because I can't remember what time it was. Oh, it is 42. I was right. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure because I had a horrible feeling it wasn't. So we'll start that back chat game again, shall we? You didn't see the end. That's why I put it on to. Yeah, exactly. No Yorkshire tea. Shocking. Talking about giveaways, I am pretty close to hitting 6,000 subscribers. And when I do, I'll be doing a giveaway then as well. Quite a big one, in fact. Don't know what though yet. Could be gold or it could be a tank. I don't know. I am in two minds. But as I'm still quite a distance away, what is it? I'm currently 29 subscribers away from 6,000. I don't think it's going to happen until the end of the month, to be fair. So we'll see. No, it's legal. You have to wear a mask here. You can't do much else other than wear a mask, because you'll be arrested and thrown in jail. Which is not a fun place to be in the Middle East. Believe me. Do. What a name. Punk Not Dead. Is this off the RU server? It looks like it could be RU server, yeah. No, it can't be. This is the Duke. I thought it was NA server. Just that there's a lot of Russian names. It's middle of the afternoon though, Lycan. The birds, yeah. I have a lot of birds here. I live on the outskirts of Dubai. Basically, I don't live in the city. You've never once met a Tawny clan in pubs? Oh, I have. Many. Well, I'm in a Tawny clan, so I'm bound to meet them. What server is this? I don't know what server this is now. I'm all confused. I've never been accused of having a voice of ASMR before. Interesting. So soothing and relaxing, is it? Nice. I must admit, I do like the little tier 9 Bat Chat. Beautiful little tank. And there it is. It's all over. What a great little game that was. So what server is that? I mean, it looks like it's probably... I don't know what server that is. I don't know any... Let me just check. I need to know what server that is now. Because that's really confused me, to be fair. Oh, it's EU. There you go then. There you go, look. EU server. Wowzers. You learn something new every day. So come on, have I got any more replays? Replays. Not there. Oh, well done then, Hunky. Hunky Warden sent me a message saying it's his first time he's ever won anything on YouTube. Well, there you go. Looks like I may have some replays sent across to me. Addictivo! Good man. That's what I like to see. See, the problem is I'd normally play, but I can't. And the reason I can't is because I stream on a PC. Well, it's on a Mac, and I don't play PC. I only play touch. So I don't actually know the controls for playing PC. This is why you never see me play. Not subscribed. Sacrilegious. Talking of Yorkshire tea, I've been watching the League of Gentlemen again. I love that. The League of Gentlemen. If you've never seen it, look it up, guys. I like. Not many will like it, to be fair. It is very strange British humour, but it is good fun. Wowzers, we've still got like a long time. It's easy to restore a tank. You're entitled to, if you've got the gold or the credits, so when you sold the tank you would have got gold or credits. If you've got the gold or credits in your garage, Wargaming will swap it. They will do a like for like. This is that simple, guys. Yeah, you can buy your tanks back, guys. As long as you got the gold or the credits in your garage, Wargaming will restore your tank. But you must have the gold or credits that you got in your garage. If not, they will not restore. Simple as that, really. Noob Forever, how you doing, mate? His Royal Fatness, he's playing in the tournament. He hasn't gone anywhere. Yeah, HRA. His Royal Fatness hasn't gone anywhere as far as I know. He is down in the tour team. Doesn't play every single game, but he is around. He was active on the streams. He may be doing streams because of his tour. Because he's playing, so that's why he won't be doing the streams. That is a great game. I think we have time for one more. We've got 11 minutes. Great game by Addictivo. Play a lot of Addictivo on EU server. He's a great player. This is yeah, we'll be back after the tour. He'll definitely be back after the tour. That's correct, Blitz on YouTube. You can restore. As long as you've got the credits or the gold in your garage, you can restore your tanks back. There used to be a limit though, 4 a year I think. I can't remember if they've still got the limit, but there used to be a limit. I don't know if it's still there. All I know is that you can restore a tank. Is it 1 a year? I thought it was 4. I thought it was 4. Well, maybe I was wrong. I'll check that with Wargaming. I'm pretty sure it was 4. Oh, 10 minutes until kick-off. By the time we finish this battle, it'll be kick-off. Now, if memory serves me correctly, and if it does serve me correctly, whoever loses the next game doesn't automatically go out. They go into like the playoff tomorrow. Now, I think you can sell 5 tanks a day. I don't think you can restore 5 a day. I think you can sell 5 a day. I think you can. I'll have to check, but I thought you were restricted to restoring 4 per year. But I will check. I will check. If it is 5 a day, wow, I stand corrected. I've never bought a tank back, to be fair. One of the only tanks I ever sold is the A32, and I'm never going to buy it back because I can't stand the damn thing. Simple as that, really. Can't stand it. Horrible tank. What a great little game this is. If it's a mastery, oh no, he's got a full E5 there. I was going to say, if this is a mastery, it's a low mastery in an IS-7. But he has got almost a full health E5 there, so it's not going to be a low mastery if he takes out the E5. Yeah, this is where the Russian tanks suffer from their gun depression. Good if you could track him. Oh, there you go, look. Now you can get round him, yes, good play. That's more like it. Yeah, you're going to have to hit the 5k plus in an IS-7 to get that mastery, so that's a great game there. But that's why he's in a pro clan. Right then. And we got the invite. No, not yet. Not come through. Mainly because it will come through in a moment. I'm going to open a crate. Get me a crate. Let's open a common container. Avatar, 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 avatar. Boosters. Avatar, 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 avatar. Boosters. Yeah, boosters. So we should be getting that invite through very shortly. Let's have a quick look at the charts. See who. Oh well, gee. They are out. HLV, bless them. So it's going to be RN and E7, so GV are going as well. There's the room. We got Feast and ID coming up. I'm just going to jump in, ready up and jump out because of the delay. Boom, boom. There we go. Funky camo. Oh, it is 5 a day. Didn't know that. There you go. So, who's going to win this? Just out of interest, I think, I can't remember. Final stage, double elimination, 4 teams, 1 group, yeah. It is 4 teams, 1 group. But it is double elimination, so it's all very confusing how they've done it this time round. Anyway, let's jump in. So we are going out on Alpenstadt. Feast on the North Spawn, ID on the South Spawn. Feast of Ritter, we have Bifrost in the E5, F Silver in the T22, Hidden Surprise in a VK90, 007 James in an E5, Zapak in an E5, Sleeping Lion in the Clown Wagon, and Sugar Magoo is IS4. Team ID, well, we have Campon in the E5, Active Duty in a TVP, Gayam in a WZ113, Lanny in a Mouse, Radioactive in an E5, Spartans doubling up with Active Duty in a TVP, and Ayano in an IS4. Wowzers. So, there we have it. I've never restored a tank, Matthew, so I don't really know. I'm only going on what I've heard, and they probably changed it. And on the grounds, I've never ever restored a tank. I have no idea. And look at this idea playing around with all their meta because they've got an hour, they've got a minute and a half. So idea, I don't know what they're going in now because they're just toying with us. They're toying, I tell you, toying. La-dee-da-dee-da. Let's have a look, see what we got. Boo, 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 boo. Doo, doo. So, ID have settled down now, and they didn't change from what I said. Just go through them again though. We have Campon in an E5, Active Duty in TVP, along with Spartan Sword in a TVP, Game in an E5, Lanny in a Crown Wagon, Radioactive in a Crown Wagon, and IDS in a Mouse. That is what we are looking at meta-wise. Thankfully, I had the webcam off so you didn't see that humongous yawn I just did. Because it would have been infectious. Even on YouTube, you would have all started yawning as well. Anyway, that's it, man. Scratch my ear. Time is over. This is it. What's it going to be? Who's it going to be? How's it going to be? Let's get a pie into the back. So, we have Feast making their way towards the A cap. Hidden Surprise is going to go down onto the ramp overlooking the B cap. TVPs are already making their way down for ID into the crossing zone. He's going to try and sit there and try and get those spots. And why not? Rest of them are heading for the C cap with IDS in that mouse going to be overlooking B. F Silver spots Active Duty. Active Duty runs out of there. And why not? He needs to. A cap is being taken by Feast. That will give an all clear to Gayam to drop into C, and he does, but Feast will get the early cap advantage. Lanny has been spotted, and he's also been smacked by Bifrost. That's a good position for the E5s to be in, but Bifrost also get... No, it wasn't Bifrost. It was Zapak who gets a smack in return. Coming over from Radioactive. That's a great shot from Radioactive considering. So, cap advantage is with Feast. However, it's now going to be who either A takes the tanks down or B takes that B cap. Irony is, from this side of the map, it's actually harder for Feast. Simple as that, really. Although, if they put themselves in good positions, they can, in theory, just bleed ID. Hidden Surprise is pushing towards that B cap, and he gets a smacking just for his troubles. He's having to drop out, and out he drops. Now, this is where it becomes dangerous. Campon can't really drop in because you can see their Feast have stacked their tanks to make sure that if anybody drops into the B cap, they can be smacked. The only way they can do it is if they drop into this side here, and then side scrape off this building. Thing is, the mouse of IDS is moved away from that position. He's going to try and put some pressure onto Hidden Surprise. This is the super heavy. He's trying to bring Hidden Surprise out. It's not working at the moment. Hidden Surprise almost was tempted, but he's moving back. Quite rightly so. Let's go over. The TVPs are trying to work their way around. Oh, look at this. ID, very aggressive here. They're putting the shots into Hidden Surprise. Hidden Surprise is out on a limb, and he really is getting pummeled. Same as Bifrost. But at the same time, Sugar Magoo in the IS-4 and F Silver pushing down on Lanny. Lanny is going to go down here between these two. It's not going to last, but it's all a question of who goes first. Is it going to be Lanny or is it going to be Hidden Surprise? Hidden Surprise, realistically. Oh, low roll. He's 123 hit points. James is pushed through onto Radioactive, so the Kranwagen's down goes Hidden Surprise. However, Active Duty, he's on his long reload now, and he is now in a world of pain. Gayam, he should be able to take out Bifrost. Lanny has gone down. Bifrost goes down. Sugar Magoo goes down. ID are hold. No, they lose Radioactive, so they've lost another Kranwagen. Campon's coming in to try and take on James. He needs to take James out the game, out the equation, and he does. Now the mouse of IDS is being pressured by F Silver, but Gayam has come in to help out. Zepak also is trying to help out F Silver. Campon puts a great shot into Zepak. So it's 2 against too many. They lose the mouse, but they've still got 4 tanks, and down goes Zepak. F Silver is going to go down here as well. ID turn it. And victory is chalked up to ID at the expense of Feast. Good stuff by ID there. Can they continue with this though? We saw that happen in the first game, and Feast came back and dominated. We're going to now swap those spawn points here on Alpenstadt. Feast will now go out on the south spawn and ID on the north. Just waiting for them to ready up before we go through the rest of it. They've got just under a minute and a half, so they've got plenty of time. It's not like they haven't got time, because they have. Who's going to ready up first? Is it going to be Feast or is it going to be ID? Well, we just do not know. ID first with Campon in the E5, Active Duty in an AMX-50B, Gayam in an IS-4, Lanny in an IS-4, Radioactive in a mouse, Spartan Sword joining Active Duty in a 50B, IDS joining a Radioactive in a mouse. Moving over to Feast, we have Bifrost in the E5, F Silver in a Vickers, Hidden Surprise in a mouse, 007 James in an E5, Zepak in an E5, Sleeping Lion in an IS-4, Sugar Magoo in a VK90. Well, there you have it. What more do you want? We want some coffee to sup. Yes, and very nice it was too. Thank you. So, seconds remaining. Well, I'm not going to lie, Feast have been in this position before where they appear to be on the back foot and they've taken it back. ID, however, well, they've got the hit points benefit here, but Feast, well, we've seen them earlier today. Let's get a pine to the back. At the moment, Feast, well, they're going to be looking at that B cap. Zepak is heading out towards the A cap area. F Silver, well, he's just looking for those spots. Let's get over. F Silver will probably rotate, not rotate, he'll probably hightail it over to the C cap, which is why Active Duty is there. Gayam, Lanny, and Campon all heading for the A cap. Spartan Sword and Active Duty just holding back. IDS and Radioactive heading towards the B cap. Unsurprising, they are mouses. At the moment, Gayam and Lanny are basically outnumbered 3-2. but they do have Campon at the back in that E5. 2 IS4s and an E5 against 2 E5s and an IS4. Although 007 James is sort of in the picture as well. So Campon getting a bit of a smacking there. He has to get out of there. Let's just leave that little brawl for the moment. In surprise, jump straight into that B cap. Don't know if that's a wise move, but he's got away with it. No, he's had to pull out. But he's pulled out without losing any hit points realistically. He's lost a couple now. But IDS has lost more. And as you can see, IDS is really getting pummeled a little bit. F Silver, well, he was tempted with the C cap, but he hasn't been able to take it. Hidden Surprise now is losing more. They have got Sugar Magoo there in the VK90, which is what is giving IDS such a hard time. Back over here, well, you can see all the heavies have moved away from the A cap. Moved around towards the C cap area of ID. This is a good rotation around the map. Back through their spawn, with the AMX-50s looking to basically surprise, Hidden Surprise and Sugar Magoo. And that is a lot of DPM that they're loaded. I don't know if they can, if they both focus Hidden Surprise, they can probably clip him out, but that's a bounce. That one's not a bounce. That one's not a bounce either. And Hidden Surprise is being focused. And so is Sugar Magoo. Cross shots coming in from Gam and Lanny. Hidden Surprise is now a one shot. He has got to get to safety. Sugar Magoo is rapidly losing hit points as well. Down goes Hidden Surprise. Sugar Magoo will be the next on the hit list. Zepak comes in, puts a good shot into Lanny. Lanny goes down courtesy of Bifrost, but they'd also lose Sugar Magoo. Moving back over, wow, Radioactive. Well, he's kind of out on a limb, but no one's focusing him because he's a mouse. They're trying to put the shots into IDS because he is the lower hit point mouse. Zepak gets a big roll into his posterior there, courtesy of Radioactive. Moving back over, Sleeping Lion is looking worse for wear, and ID are trying to press down onto F Silver. F Silver gets out of there. Now ID and IDS and Radioactive pushing onto Bifrost. Down, however, goes Spartan Sword in the 50B. So 2 tanks down a piece. But look at the hit points. Feast have only got 4,000, and that's even less now. Sleeping Lion is on 22 hit points. He is a one-shot. Bifrost is a 2-shot. F Silver is a 2-shot. Down, however, goes IDS. That was always going to happen. He was a one-shot for a large proportion of that battle. Radioactive, this is the problem with the mouse. They just have atrocious DPM. So, looking at the way it's lining up, Game is a 2-shot. Radioactive is a many shot. So is Campon. So is Active Duty. So is 007 James. Now James isn't. Now James is a 2.5 shot. Down, however, Radioactive wins that one. James goes down, double tapped. Zepak and F Silver left. Zepak, however, is a 2-shot. F Silver is now a 1-shot. Down he goes to Active Duty, leaving Zepak as the last man standing. He knows it's all over. There's not much he can do about it. He's going to be pushed from all sides, and wowzers. ID consolidating their advantage. 2-0 as they go into game 3. Don't forget, it's best of 5, so it's the first of 3 victories. And ID are on the cusp. It is match point. Great stuff there by ID. This is a different ID to what we saw in the opening battles against Feast. Let's be honest. Now we're going to move back into Hellas with Feast on the North spawn, ID on the South spawn. Can Feast stop the rot? 2-0 down here to ID. They've got to stop the rot somehow. So, Feast have read it up. We have Bifrost in an E5, F Silver in a Vickers, Hidden Surprise in an E5, 007 James in a Crown Wagon, Zepak in an E5, Sleeping Lion in a Crown Wagon, and Sugar Magoo in an IS4. ID are still picking their meta, but that's the lineup for Feast. Moving over to ID, well, we're going to have Campon in the IS4, Active Duty in a 50B. Excuse me, Lanny in a 50B, joining forces with Active Duty. Radioactive in the IS4. Spartans in a 50B, and IDS also in a 50B. Wow, that's a lot of 50Bs. Okay. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. I am intrigued as to see how they're going to do that. 4 50Bs. Never seen this strat before. They're obviously looking for quite a bit of aggression, I think, there. 4 50Bs. Wowzers. Wow. Who knows? Is this the final game, or is this not the final game? Well, only time will tell. Looking at the hit points, wow, it's in favour of ID. They've made use of it so far today against Feast in this round. They didn't make use of it in the first round. Can Feast pull it back? They've got to dig deep. Very deep indeed. F Silver rushing straight to the middle area to that far bush that I pointed out on the overflight, trying to get those early spots. 50Bs, Campon. Well, we got Lanny and Spartan Sword and their 50Bs, and Campon heading towards the C-cap area, along with the E5s of Feast. Active Duty going right down the middle, trying to put pressure onto F Silver. He puts a good shot into Sleeping Lion. The E5s are here. And so is Sugar Magoo. Let's quickly move around a little bit because Radioactive is trying to put a lot of pressure on. He has got Game in support in Active Duty and IDS. But I think the action is going to be around the C-cap. Campon and Sugar Magoo, they're going to be tussling against each other here. Campon coming in now. Lanny just getting a smacking. Oh, Lanny really is getting a smacking. He's had to back out a little bit. So is Spartan Sword. They've got to be careful here. They're going to be swamped by those E5s. And they are being swamped. Oh, this could be a big, big mistake for ID. Losing these two 50Bs without doing a lot of damage is going to be a disaster. Down goes Spartan Sword. Lanny will be next. No, they take out Bifrost, but Lanny is now a one-shot anyway. Realistically, down he goes. So, James is down. Bifrost is down. Now we've got F Silver being focused, but IDS is on his long reload. 2 tanks down on both sides, but the C-cap is with. IDS is now a one-shot. F Silver takes him down. No, it wasn't. It was Sleeping Lion. Hidden Surprise is a one-shot. Campon will be looking to finish him off. He cannot. Radioactive will do it instead. No! Radioactive uses HE and gets a really low roll. What on earth was that? That was a mistake by Radioactive. F Silver is a one-shot. Hidden Surprise is a one-shot or a ram. He finally goes down. Active Duty trying to get F Silver out of the game. Campon is now a one-shot. Active Duty is a 2-shot. Gayam is many shots, so is Radioactive, so is Zepak, and so is Sleeping Lion, and so is Sugar Magoo. F Silver is the danger zone. Down he goes. Campon, however, Sugar Magoo will finish him off. Tried to do it on cue, but it didn't work. Gayam is giving Zepak a hard time. It's 3-on-3. It will soon to be 3-on-2. Zepak will go down here to Gayam. Will he or won't he? Yes, he will. Now they can focus on either Sleeping Lion or Sugar Magoo. It's one of the two. Sleeping Lion would be the favoured choice because he has got the DPM at the moment with he's fully loaded. Radioactive coming in to try and put a kill shot in. Active Duty is going to jump on the top of him. No, he misses him. Down goes Gayam. It's now 2-on-2. Active Duty. Can he finish him off? Yes, he can. It's now 2-on-1. Sugar Magoo is the last man standing. He puts a good shot into Active Duty. Active Duty backs away because Radioactive does have the hit points in Active Duty as long as on long reload. ID are on the cusp of victory here against Feast. A straightforward 3-0. Sugar Magoo is now a one-shot. Active Duty is loaded. Oh, he shoots ID. He shoots Radioactive. Sugar Magoo is desperately trying to get that shot into Active Duty. He shoots Radioactive again. This time he gets an HE roll into Sugar Magoo. Radioactive can finish him off with an HE roll now. And ID are going to get this. No! Radioactive didn't load HE, and he bounces. Sugar Magoo's on 86 hit points. He should have just loaded HE. Sugar Magoo bounces Radioactive. This time HE. No, because Active Duty finishes him off. Oof! What a game. What a game. Completely different ID to what we saw in round one. They, well, really took Feast to school. Simple as that. 3-0. Wowzers. So let's have a look at the chart. That way we'll find out some more. So ID. They are going into. Oh yeah, that's this stage. So final stage. Well, it won't come up until tomorrow. Until late, until all the games are finished. So we'll have to wait. We will have to wait to see what happens. It's very confusing at this part. So it's double elimination basically. So that's the group stage done. Now we're into the final stage, which is again double elimination. It's 4 teams, 1 group. So tomorrow we have the first upper bracket round, followed by the lower bracket round. Then on the 22nd we have the upper and the lower bracket finals, with the grand final on the 23rd. So that's what we're looking at. 4 teams will go through, and I think you'll find that the way it's going to work is it'll be, I don't know who it'll be actually. I think it's these 2 and these 2. Feast and ID, RN and E7 will be going through to the final stage, but nothing will come up yet. So ID at the moment, well, I think the way it works is ID play, I don't know, I think they will play the loser of this group. Let's see who's winning or losing this group while they're still playing. I think they play the loser of this group, and the winner of this group plays the loser of this group. So we don't know yet. Simple as that. Let's have a quick look at the challenges. That was being streamed by Amunet. See, Amunet. So let's have a look at their chart. Well, we had the grand finals upper bracket. We have Durr and ECG. Do we have a winner? We do! Durr beating ECG 3-0. That means DCGTB and King are out. Group 2, we had NQE7 in Cam 1, with DTG and PGMT going out. So, who won this game? Do we know? Yes, we do. It was NQE7 beating Cam 1. So, that's that stage. Final stage, nothing there yet. It won't appear until much later. So, that's what we're looking at, guys. So, I'm going to play one more replay, and whilst I do, I'm then going to do some admin and see if we have any winners. Let's have a look. Just drop my ugly mug off for a moment. Hang on, sort that out, and then sort that out. And right, let me just do some admin. Back in a few ticks. Okay, so while this replay is doing, I've done my admin. Not a single person predicted ID beating Feast 3-0. So, wowzers. What we'll do then, I'll roll the battle passes into the next stream. Okay, so if Wargaming let me, of course, they should do, because I tend to give away. So what I'll do, I'll roll it into the next stream, and we'll take it from there, guys. So, yeah, 6 unclaimed battle passes for today. That one seems a lot harder to do than predicting the damage count. So what we'll do, I'm going to drop predicting who the winners are going to be, and we'll go back to predicting the damage count, because that'll be that way it's much easier for you guys, and we'll do that in the next stream that I do. Okay, so it'll be on Asia, by the way. It'll be rolled out on Asia, not on any other server. So I think I'm back tomorrow, I'm not sure, but I'm with Challengers tomorrow, I believe, with Amunet. So I'll be joining her, and we'll probably do it that way. So that's what we'll do. We'll do it that way, much easier, I think. Wowzers, what a day. So we are now set up for the final stage. We won't have the chart yet for the final stage. It's not coming yet because the team has not been drawn as of yet. So, yeah. It'll only be for Asia server. Don't worry, guys. Right then. Wow, what a day. We've seen some fantastic games. I'd like to say huge kudos to all what was that? Anyway, I'd like to say big kudos to all the teams. They've all given us some great entertainment. It's been great. And I'd like to say a big massive thank you to the mods who have been there, keeping the chat nice and easy and laid back and all that sort of jazz. I'm Fujit. I'm now going to get a couple of hours sleep before I come back and do the EU stream later on this evening. Until then, guys, enjoy the rest of whatever part of the day you happen to be in. You've been fantastic. It's been my pleasure to host you. I'm going to open a container. Poosters, poosters, poosters. Yeah, poosters. It's been my pleasure to entertain you, or to host you, and I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow, I'm not doing the Pro Series on Asia. I should be joining Amunet to do the challenges, I believe. So, until then, guys, all the best.